That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Well, it is June, and we're about to get the first round of June movies coming out. And as we like to do around here when a new month hits, we thought we would go down through some of the movies. I think there's like 30 of them, 30 or 40 of them coming out this month.
Yeesh.
Many of them in limited release, but I thought we would go down, clear through some of the clutter. Not that any of the ones that we're not mentioning are garbage or anything like that, but these are the ones that we're particularly excited about. And there's like 10 of them coming out this month. So let's go over and go through these one by one, shall we? We're going to start this week, June 6th. 4 movies coming out this week. Number 1, let's talk about The Phoenician Scheme. We've talked a bit about this movie over the last while. I don't particularly like the trailer. I'll be honest with you. I don't particularly like the trailers. And it just looks like Wes Anderson has no other gear other than pure Wes Anderson. It looks like he has no other gear. That's it. He only knows how to do Wes Anderson. And it kind of feels like his own movies are becoming memes of themselves. That being said, the reviews coming out for this are actually saying, I mean, they're not perfect, but they're actually saying it's really funny and it's really clever. And I got to say, where I didn't have a lot of interest in it originally, like there was an era when I used to love everything he did, whether you're talking about Royal Tenenbaums or Life Aquatic or whatever. Like there was that era. Recently, I've kind of fallen a little bit out with Wes Anderson, but hearing good things about this. What's your anticipation level like for this?
You know, Wes Anderson's a little hit and miss for me. And while I haven't liked some of his latest stuff, I mean, I was a huge fan of his from Bottle Rocket on. I loved Bottle Rocket. I loved Rushmore. I liked Royal Tenenbaums. And I really liked The Life Aquatic more than I think a lot of other people did. And of course, The Grand Budapest Hotel is a great movie.
It's wonderful. One of his best.
So I'm glad to see, like, I didn't love The French Dispatch very much.
I did not like it at all, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, I wanted to like it, but this, I love Benicio del Toro, and it looks like he's having a blast in this trailer. But I was like, it's Wes Anderson is Wes Andersoning hard in this one, it seems like.
Yeah.
And reading the reviews I was not interested. I saw the trailer like you, I'm like, I don't know. But after reading the reviews and reading what it's about, I'm like, okay, I'm more interested.
So that one's coming out this week, guys. Also coming out this week, a little Nick Kroll comedy called I Don't Understand You. Now, they debuted some preview footage for this at CinemaCon, and I had not heard it until we did at CinemaCon. And I'll tell you what, I think this looks really funny. Nick Kroll and his partner play a gay couple who are waiting for this woman to deliver the son they're going to adopt, and they decide to take an Italian vacation together before the baby arrives, where they start to accidentally kill people. And I don't know why, but I loved this. I really did. I thought, no, I don't know. This looks like the type of trailer, Rob, where it could go off the rails really quick and maybe just be a mess. But I think it has potential to be really good. And I love Nick Kroll. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm down for this. What did you think of it?
I just watched the trailer. It looks really funny. I just worried that they showed too much of the movie in the trailer, but hopefully they didn't. But they look like they're having a blast in this film. It looks hilarious. So this was not on my radar until this morning.
Yeah.
This morning. So yeah, I'm in. Count me in.
All right. Next one, also opening this week that I'm going to go see tonight is Ballerina. Now, I admit I am one of the people that said, why are we doing this movie? And it takes place between John Wick 3 and 4. And what's kind of the point?
It's the Hobbs and Shaw of the John Wick universe.
It's exactly the Hobbs and Shaw of the John Wick universe. And then we got that 12-minute whatever presentation at CinemaCon, and everybody there ate it up, including me. I thought this looked like bonkers fun. I've heard some decent things about it. And again, I'm going to go see this tonight. Look for my out of the theater reaction tonight, but I'm looking forward to this a lot. Where's your,
I can't wait. Again, my friend, Rob, who works in exhibition had very great things to say about this and said that John Wick is not just a cameo, like shows up in a scene. And he said it was really, really good. So it looks good, and I think they've taken time. This movie kind of, they shot it and then they added some things to it, and they saw, they've done a lot of work in post. I think they've made this movie sing. And I, I just keep thinking of Ana de Armas in No Time to Die.
Yeah.
She didn't get enough screen time, and here they're giving it to her.
And by the way, best action sequence in Hollywood history involving dinner plates. That's all I'm going to say. Wait till you see it. Okay. The last one we'll talk about here, we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth a little bit later, so we'll just be brief here, but the new sort of Tom Hiddleston movie, it's not really a Tom Hiddleston movie, but he's the one on the poster, Life of Chuck. I did not think it looked very good at a CinemaCon. I did see it last night. We'll talk about it in just a bit here. But Life of Chuck is coming out. I know you were looking forward to this.
I was. I read the short story in If It Bleeds, the anthology If It Bleeds. I'm a huge Mike Flanagan fan. Of course, he previously adapted Stephen King with Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining. And I was I was like very curious. It is a very unconventional short story. And I'm like, how are you going to make this into a movie?
All right. And we will talk about it a little bit more in length and just a little bit later on the show. All right. That's all coming out this week. Now we jump forward to the following week, June 13th. And guys, How to Train Your Dragon is opening. It might be the best live action adaptation ever. I mean, it's got stiff competition for me because that includes Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella, which I really love. And I love Guy Ritchie's Aladdin. I mean, it's not as good as the original, but it was great. How to Train Your Dragon may very well be the best animated to live action adaptation ever. We talked about this when we were at CinemaCon. They showed us the full movie. The first 10 minutes or so did not have me at all. I'm like, oh my God, this is a miss. And then I just proceeded to completely be in love with the entire rest of the movie. I loved this film. Again, not the greatest movie of all time, but the greatest animation to live action adaptation might be ever. I need more time to ruminate on that and think about it, but it's fantastic. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Ridge. Okay, let's talk about this. This is easily one of my favorite upgrades I've made all year. This right here is the Ridge wallet, and it is such an upgrade over my old bulky leather wallet. You know the one, it looked like a sandwich and it felt like you were sitting on a brick. Ridge is a sleek, modern wallet that holds up to 12 cards plus cash, and look at this slim design. It's made from premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. Mine is absolutely beautiful and I get compliments on it all the time. And here's a part of it that really gives me peace of mind. It's got RFID blocking technology. That means your info stays safe from digital pickpockets. Plus, every Ridge wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. This is literally the last wallet you'll ever need. And right now, just in time for Father's Day, Ridge is having a huge sale. Get up to 40% off your order at ridge.com/Campea. Just head to ridge.com/Campea to find the perfect gift for dad or yourself. When you check out, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Give dad the upgrade he deserves this year. Rob, I know you were there with me when we watched this movie. You loved it too.
Like you, I started out going, I wasn't connecting with it at all. And it was a weird thing that happened. I mean, I would say a little longer, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes in. Suddenly I was in. Like I was out and then I'm in because it seemed so generic. And I don't know, it was a weird thing. But then I'm like, I love this movie. It was such a weird, I'd never had that experience. And then once it cranked up, you know what it was? It was all the exposition. At the beginning, they have to set up the world.
Yeah, which is not unlike the animated
movie.
Not
at all.
But it hits different in animation.
Yeah.
Whereas in live action, that sort of overly explanatory stuff.
Yeah, and it's like you're opening going into the Shire and Lord of the Rings in the beginning of Fellowship is magical. This, I felt like, okay, I get it. You know, do I have to see a variation on it? But you kind of had to because they have to. I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
This was me. I'd already. It didn't matter. It was really all of it was really, really well done. And the How to Train Your Dragon, all those movies are real. That's a great trilogy. I mean, people don't usually think about it as it's a great trilogy, but yeah, this movie's gonna make. I was convinced Lilo and Stitch was going to make a lot of money. You and I both think this is going to make a lot of money too.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make Lilo and Stitch money.
No,
but I believe, this movie's great. It's great. And like, again, when you change mediums, you create a different experience. And this is very true to the animated film, but it's a different experience. And I just was grinning ear to ear, even got choked up a number of times. I know Anne was like weeping and crying.
Yeah, by the end too.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Go see How to Train Your Dragon. Anyway, Also opening up against How to Train Your Dragon on June 13th is the Materialists. And you know what? I did not love the first trailer. Of course, you got Dakota Johnson, you got Pedro Pascal, and you got Chris Evans.
You mean Pedro Pascal's in yet another movie?
And yet another movie? He is the man of the hour right now. I didn't love the first trailer, but the subsequent 2 trailers that came after it, I kind of more and more got hooked on this. And I'm actually kind of dying to find out who she goes with at the end. Does she end up with Chris Evans? Because the stereotypical rom-com is that she ends up with Chris Evans. That's the traditional result of the rom-com, and they could go that way. I'm kind of hoping they go the non-traditional route where she actually ends up with the rich guy. But I don't know. This is looking more and more clever to me, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Where's your anticipation?
Well, it's Celine's strong sophomore effort after Past Lives, which I loved.
It's such a good movie.
I loved Past Lives, and this, on one hand, this could be like a traditional. I'm more excited about it than I probably should be because Celine Strong directed it. And it leads me to believe that she might end up with the Pedro Pascal character because in the trailers, he's not a cad. He's not like a dude.
It breaks that tradition where it's like the rich, handsome guy is also a bit of a jerk, but it's not. He's wonderful.
He's really charming. And it's kind of the Chris. It reminds me a little bit of Reality Bites, where Ethan Hawke's supposed to be the but I'm like, the Ben Stiller character's the good guy. He's trying to give you a job, and Slacker Boy over here is a douche. But anyway.
All right, so that's the Materialist and How to Train Your Dragon open up on the 13th. Now, fast forward to June 20th. We got the new Pixar film, Elio. I'm not sold on it.
Yeah.
You know what? And this is going to sound funny. I'm having the same kind of apathy. I'm feeling the same apathy as I did going in to see Coco and that I did going in to see Up. Neither of those films did I think were going to win me over. I didn't think they looked particularly great. But in the case of Up and Coco, I ended up fucking loving those movies.
Yeah.
Like, I adore those movies. So now here we are, we're approaching Elio, and I have this apathy. I don't think it looks very good, but I am starting to wonder that I should never, because the only time Pixar has ever let me down was probably Lightyear. I'm not a big fan of a couple of the Cars films, but I mean, I never felt like completely let down by those films. The only one that ever let me down was Lightyear. And I don't know, like almost every time that I've doubted Pixar, they kill it. So we'll see. Elio's coming. Rob, what are you thinking about it?
Well, I'm with you. I have been, for whatever reason, the trailers didn't grab me. However, I've seen a few brief, like 30-second, I guess they're TV spots that have, they work for me more. But I mean, you know, kid, aliens, whatever, I'll see it. I mean, if it turns out to be a Coco like you, I was blown away by Coco. And I was kind of reluctantly
Such
went.
a special
and
movie.
I should never, you know, Pixar, they've earned our trust over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
So whenever you see a Pixar movie, it's a pretty good bet you should go anyway, even if you're iffy on it. So Elio will get my business. But I go in there not super stoked about it.
All right. Now, opening up against Elio, talking about counter programming, but is 28 years later. One that I admit, I'm like, does it really need to revisit this franchise? But after the stuff we got at CinemaCon, and the trailers have been art. The trailers themselves have been art. There is no discharge from the wall. Like they have been art in and of themselves. I'm not the biggest fans of 28 Days or 28 Weeks Later. I'm not the biggest fans of those. Like, I like them. I do. I enjoyed them, but it's not like they're a cult status for me or anything like that. Man, I'm excited to see this one though. This one looks great to me. What are your thoughts?
I'm a fan of the first two. You know, I own it's so funny. I didn't realize it was so hard to get those discs, but apparently you couldn't, there's no, even on streaming, you know, they finally got the movie back on streaming the first 28 days later. But I really like those movies a lot. How they made the first one with, you know, DV cameras, and they were able to get those great scenes of the desolate London streets. But dude, like you said, talk about a banger trailer. I hope that trailer like wins whatever the key awards are,
Golden
the key
Trailer Awards, or
whatever they are.
called.
I mean, that trailer has to win all the awards. I can't wait.
All right, now we get into the last movie releases of the month, the big ones at any rate. And these two I'm very much looking forward to for very different reasons. Megan 2.0. They, of course, just released the last trailer. We already just talked about it yesterday. It's a perfect trailer for Megan 2.0. It's leaning into all the stuff that we were talking about. It looks fantastic to me. And then for completely different reasons, man, I'm psyched for F1. I cannot wait for F1. I think this thing looks absolutely intense, absolutely incredible. Brad Pitt has been killing it lately. Everything he's been doing has been great lately. And this is going to be a good weekend at the movies for me, man. Seeing both of these, I think they're both going to be fun for completely different reasons. Rob, Megan 2.0 and F1, what do you think?
Count me in. Yeah, I mean, this could be the Barbenheimer of the summer.
Yeah.
No, look, they showed us the first 10 minutes of F1 at CinemaCon. Look, I grew up loving F1 cars, and seeing the way it's shot, how they put cameras in the cockpits of those F1 cars looking like Top Gun Maverick. It's unbelievable. Brad Pitt looks like he's having a blast. Jerry Bruckheimer's bringing his special sauce to this. I mean, even if a Jerry Bruckheimer movie isn't so great, they're the most watchable things in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I can't wait for this. I can't wait to see F1 in IMAX. Cannot wait.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Jonathan, to your point, F1 is a 4DX.
That's going to be, since I couldn't go into Twisters, I'm going to go in for F1.
Yeah, Twisters was my first ever experience in a 4DX theater. And I had fun with it, but I thought there's not many movies I'd want to watch. And I haven't been back since. But I think Jonathan was the first one to bring it up to say, F1 is when you should see 4DX. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to book my tickets for this. This will be my second time in a 4DX. This is the movie you want to see in 4DX. So I'm looking forward to seeing that there. So there you have it, guys. Now there are a bunch of other movies opening up this month too, but these are the ones that I think are the most notable. Which ones on this list are you really excited about seeing? Which ones maybe have you not really thought about, but now you're interested? Which ones are you not interested in at all? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.